Morning.
Good morning.
Have you ever felt frustrated, angry, or sad at another person's behaviour and wanted desperately to change their behaviour so that you can feel better?
Yes. Because we know logically that we actually don't like people pointing out our behaviour. We know logically that we just want people to love us and we want people's acceptance, we want people's understanding. But when it comes to the people in our lives that maybe we had a little disagreement with, or maybe we had a big disagreement with, or maybe we feel like they criticised us or something happened, we tend to feel like we want them to change. Well, I'm speaking from personal experience here because I did this for about 20 years.
Same here.
You know, I rolled, mostly my father, I rolled all the times I had interactions with him. I would roll the movies around inside my head. I would roll what we said to each other around inside my head. I would psychoanalyze. I would try and figure out. Even though I would say to my friends and to anyone that would listen, like, you know, I don't like him sometimes or things like that, I'm obviously passionately involved with him inside my head. So really, I spend most of my time thinking about him, which really means deep down, I desperately want a connection with him as well, but I just don't know how to get one. And that's why I'm trying to figure everything out. So this video this morning is designed to show you what you can do instead of psychoanalyzing, trying to figure out other people, blaming other people, being angry at other people, rolling movies around in your head about other people, and going towards yourself and knowing that who's the only person that you can actually affect Jo. Which person can you actually change?
Only myself. Only myself.
Yes, and Jo has agreed...
Damn it.
Yeah, damn it, Janet. And Jo has very kindly agreed to be the example for you guys watching the video this morning. Like, she's going to be you, because if you're out there doing this, then she's going to be an example so that I can show you what you would do instead of psychoanalyzing, you know, replaying the movie to get yourself really angry, replaying the movie to get yourself sad, thinking thoughts that are going to get you in a certain state of and all this does, guys, is wear out your internal organs. Because as children, if everything went really well, we would actually learn to process emotions in under a minute or so. It wouldn't be carrying it around for 20 years like some of us do. We would just process, move through, and that's what we're going to show you how to start learning how to do as an adult. So
choose to look at ourselves first,
yes,
rather than, and a big one that I did, if only they would do this, if only they'd behave like this, if only they'd be more like me, life would be easier.
Yes, why don't everyone just be more like us? And then, exactly. Right. We logically can read the books and really understand how this works, but when it really comes to, are we really doing it outside our heads? Are we really making any changes inside our heads? And the ladies that come along to our calls, this is what we're helping them do on a much deeper level than even what I'm going to show you today. But today's video is just to give you a little thing that you can do in your life right now to start making it more, focusing more on your own changes instead of playing these movies, instead of, you know, wearing out your internal organs, which is all this will do. It will never actually affect change on the other person. The other person isn't even there most of the time when you're doing this, if you haven't noticed that already. I mean, I spent probably, God, so many hours of my life rolling movies around in my head when the people weren't even there.
Well, it's also possible that they've, many times, lots of movies, it's also possible that they've passed away and you're still
Totally.
doing it to yourself.
That's it. That's it. So good morning, everyone that's joining us. So Jo has kindly agreed to be our demonstration. But I want you to think about how you're doing this in your life too. So something happened in your life with your ex-husband years and years and years ago, and so there was an incident. Tell us a little bit, like the night before, just general here.
A disagreement,
Yeah.
a very passionate disagreement between us.
Yeah.
And my favourite thing to do back then was silence and distance myself and, just go to bed and go to sleep. I could actually go to sleep, and that was my safe place. Silence or sleep was my coping skill. I was excellent at it, and then expecting to wake up the next day and not have to deal with anything, just have it all swept under the rug. And but I later found out that's not really the healthiest way to deal with it. Took me a while.
So you had the incident, and then you get up the next morning, but then you've got the kids in the car to go to school. This is when Jo's kids were small. So for those of you out there, I'm sure you can understand, and you're still thinking about that thing that happened last night. I mean, Jo's trying to push it aside, but then she gets in the car, and what's going on inside your mind?
Yeah.
With regards to the other person.
Yeah, the other person. So why does he have to behave this way? Why does he have to do it this way? If he could just do it the way I do it, and that's like silence, sweep it all under the carpet, pretend that everything's okay, and go to sleep and then wake up and start afresh, like
you're doing.
Yeah. Same as me, if only. And so this is what goes around and around and around, and then the story gets bigger. I don't know if I can keep doing this. Are we gonna last? How's it? What would happen with the kids? What if, will we stay together? The story gets really, really, really huge.
Oh, and what happens if you're joyous, happy little children on the way, way to school or way somewhere to an excursion or something, if you're a homeschooler? What happens if they kind of ask you a question while you're mid-train of thought thinking, oh, what if we break up? What if we have to get divorced? What if,
It's not the words that there's going to be some emotion here, because it's not the words that I say to them, but the tone, the very short, sharp tone. I mean, I could even be saying something like really positive, like, oh, it'll be a great day today, but the tone that it comes out in is so short and sharp that obviously they know that, there's something going on.
Yeah.
And I'm so stuck in my crap that I'm pretending I'm fine, but the tone of my voice and even my body language is giving off something else other than I'm fine. So everybody knows, the kids know, but no one's saying anything.
Yes, and if you're in this group, this is the vital part about this video for showing you why how to change this behaviour, how to stop, going to these movies of other people in your head and start focusing on yourself, is because we know that all the people in this group really want to be able to respond to their children in the best way possible. You want to be calm, you want to be peaceful, you want to have a tone of voice that is understanding, is coming from a really kind of clean place inside you, a very conscious place. And when you're doing this shit inside your head, when you're playing these shitty movies, or you're going over shitty thoughts, it's not easy to do that, guys. This is the main. If you can stop this behaviour, and we're going to show you how to do that, but you've got to do it. And that was one of the hardest things for me to learn in the beginning, is I've got to stop doing this. I've got to start taking personal responsibility. And it was a habit I'd been in for 20 years of thinking I can change the other person. Thinking that if only, like Jo said, the if onlys. And I'm kind of addicted to my if onlys. I think it actually serves me to get in the car and think things over. I actually think that that's going to help you know. And I know I talk to many mums out there, and they say, I just got to figure it out, Ilka. I just got to figure it out. And I'm thinking, okay, yes, I did that for 20 years too. But I can absolutely guarantee you that what we're about to show you is going to work, 100 times fold. If you keep using this particular habit in your life, you're going to start changing your life, because the way you can respond to everything around you, including that person that you want to connect with, and you don't know how to because you didn't learn how to do it in childhood, that will start to change too. But it will never start to change from the place where you're trying to blame them. It doesn't work from there. So we're going to show you how it works. So Jo is driving along in the car and she's running through the movies of that night, and her children are chat, and she's been short with them, and we're going to show you what she would do. So you've just learnt how Ilka's been telling you showing you how you can tap on yourself, how you can turn this inward, you can start aiming at what's going on inside you, and so you notice what's going on inside you. And Jo's much better at going to her feelings now than she would have been in the past.
Which is interesting, because I'm starting to get teary, which never used to happen in the past, because I would have been logical, analytic. Tears didn't come
staying
easily.
Cold.
Yeah,
staying angry, because in her childhood, staying angry kept the power in her life. We were talking about that this morning.
Yeah.
So she's staying very straight-faced. She's staying, it's actually
Silence.
That Jo can now go to her emotions is a major evolution in Jo's life.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, it really is amazing. And if you're resonating with this, what Jo would do in the beginning, just to take a step back, if you're the person that was like Jo, you have to aim at like, I'm just shutting down. I can't even. So what would you have called it, Jo, back then, when you couldn't go to the emotion so easily?
Stonewalling.
Stonewalling. Yeah. So if you're good at kind of stonewalling, then you can just aim at the stonewalling and tap on the stonewalling. So you're going to bring it, if you're driving, you're going to bring one hand up. You're going to drive safely. Don't do this if you don't feel like you can do it driving. We're not actually advertising for... I do it myself. Yeah. But, you can pull over if you want, if it's really big.
For me back then, there is no way I could have done this in front of the children. I would have waited till I dropped them off at school, then parked, probably made sure that I parked somewhere where no one would see me.
Yes.
Because I'm not only am I stonewalling like everyone outside of me, myself, I don't want to go to my feelings.
Yeah.
I can't. To be here now doing this in front of you and getting teary, this is so far along the road for me from where I was back then, when showing emotion was the last thing I was going to do. That's why silence, coldness, sleep, all those things were the first
coping
things
skills
on my list.
Yes. So if you're stonewalling, and Jo's now parked the car, she's out of sight, and if this is the thing you need to do, this is what you do. You go and park the car out of sight and you start doing this, okay? You start feeling your fingers tapping, and you can play this video with us, along with us. And you start saying, let it go. This is all you need to do. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. You feel your fingers, you notice your fingers, you're aiming at your fingers tapping. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And then you take a big deep breath. Big deep breath. Hold away. And we're aiming away from what's going on inside our head. We're trying to, what we call in that fast EFT, defrac, which is, defractionate this thing. Start breaking it down. Start scratching the CD. You've got a movie in there that you keep replaying, and we need to scratch the CD. So, you might, we do silly things. You can go quack, quack, quack. Can you do that? Quack, quack, quack. And
quack,
you can do
quack, quack.
Quack, quack, quack. I mean, Jo probably would never have done that back then.
Wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, but you might have gone A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
100s, 93, 80. This is brilliant. Count backwards in sevens. No.
Oh, yeah. So now, So anything that works for you to really start your focus on something else. Get your focus off this movie you're playing and the other person, okay? And now so now that you've broken away from it, that's called a defractionation. Now we're going to go back, and we're going to notice what's going on. We're going to test it again. We're going to go towards it. And what's happening inside you now, Jo, with that movie? You're playing it.
Yeah, I go straight back to it, straight back into logic, analysis.
Yeah. So
Why can't you change?
Yeah, let it go. Now we tap again. Now we tap
to do with me.
Tap again. And we notice our fingers tapping. We notice, oh, gee, I'm good at this, but I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. Go me. I'm taking back my power. This is real power. Real power. Personal power. Yeah, I'm the only person I can change. I can change. And I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. Letting it go. Big, deep breath. Big, deep breath.
This is what would happen for me in the beginning. Like, I'm cold and analytical, and then the real feelings come up below the logic and the analysis. Are the emotions, and that's why I was so good at logic and analysis, because they kept me away from my emotions. Yeah,
that's it. But now you can just use them to defrac. So now you're going to go to your numbers and you're going to count down, or think happy, and you can think of happy things. Think of a happy time in your life. Think of your little puppy dog, or something really fun. Think of a fun time in your life, one of the funnest times you ever had. And you're going to count for me again.
Yeah.
99.
93. 86.
So this gives the mind something else to focus on.
72,
okay? Yeah.
60.
Taking back personal power by focusing something different, breaking this habit. All right, so now you're going, and now, so this is, we go in, out. One of the ladies on the calls last week said, Ilka, because a lot of other things people do, they tend to try and avoid. Faster EFT is about going there. We go there, we look at the movie, what are you hearing? What's going on in there? What are you doing to yourself in there? The person is not here anymore. What are you doing inside your head? So just notice what you're still doing. You can see visuals. Can you hear the sounds?
Yes.
The smell of the room even. Their face, the look on their face.
The sounds, but not so much sound from me, because I'm good at silence.
Yeah, good at silence.
And you come at me. Come at me as like verbally as much as you choose. I'm brilliant at silence and
So you're seeing your silent face.
My silence, my stern look.
Yeah. Stone
coldness.
Yeah. So you're seeing that.
I will give you nothing.
Yeah. Okay. So let it go. Let it go. We're just doing this really simply, guys. This is what you're going to start learning how to do in the car, or in the bathroom, in the toilet. It's like, oh, I'm doing it again. I'm going over their stuff. Let it go. 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 Safe to let it go. Let it go. Again, you're noticing your fingers tapping. You're feeling the sound. You're hearing the sound of them, feeling them on your skin. Taking a big deep breath. Float away. And we kind of anchor this peace into our wrist in faster EFT. So we say peace. And then you might do your counting again. Got it? Do your counting.
Now I can laugh. This is good that I can laugh now.
Yeah, doing your counting.
Yeah. 93, 86, 79, 72.
That's so cool. Okay. And if you're into humour, you get some funny videos on YouTube. Play yourself some funny videos. I was telling Jo one this morning, if I think of those videos, I just start laughing. Some clients and for some people that really works really well.
And the willingness to let it go is huge.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I wouldn't do for a very long time in the beginning.
You'd rather wear out your organs.
I'm rather
get an autoimmune disease 10 years down the track. Yeah,
absolutely. Keep the anger. If I let go of this anger, they win.
Yes. And we talked about that this morning because, of course, as a child, keeping anger gave Jo power. Like, everything you do in life as an adult is a successful coping skill from childhood. And so there were many, many, many thousands of good reasons for Jo holding on to anger and giving herself some feeling of personal power. And that's the thing, that she can keep the power now. This is the only, like, looking internally and finding your answers inside yourself is the only way to get power when you're an adult, okay? So you can spend 10 years trying to change other people. You know, it's fun. I did it for 20.
It's not fun.
Yeah, you know, it's not fun. But this is a better skill to start learning, okay? Yeah. So where are we, Jo?
Yeah, remember that you can let go of the anger, the frustration, the sadness, and keep the power.
You can keep the power. This is power. You know, being calm inside is power. Feeling peaceful inside is power. It's huge. So how are you going then now?
Well, I'm good now because I'm better. I know there's still more there. I can still feel emotion, but I've gone through the analysis. I've got to some softness and some emotion, and being able to bring that up. Now, for some people who they may go to emotion very quickly and cry lots and lots and lots and lots and lots, and that may be something that they need to move through. That a lot of crying, but for me. Getting to the crying is actually hugely beneficial for me and a move forward. So and then once it's up, once the emotion's up, I can tap through it and
and another thing that Jo did as a child, which was also a coping skill, was to not show emotion. So if she's not showing emotion, so this is another thing that it's a coping skill that she's got to now say to herself things like, it's okay to show emotion. So these are all the things you can learn more in our course when you come and we do it on a deeper level. Today we're just showing you how to do it very much like when it's happening and you're doing this. You're doing movies about other people inside your head, hoping that they'll change, hoping that you can psychoanalyze yourself out of this, hoping that doing the why, if onlys, doing the if onlys. So if you go now to that disagreement that happened and whatever you're doing inside your head, what's happening there? Let it go. So then we see it and then we say, let it go, let it go. She goes towards it and then we feel the fingers again. And you can count even while you're feeling the fingers as you say, let it go. The more you give your mind to focus on here, the better it is, because it's like we're focusing away from the issue. We're diffractionating away from it. Okay, letting it go, feeling your fingers, letting it go, letting it go, letting it go, letting it go. Okay, and now big deep breath down into your belly, feel it go in your nostrils, all the way down into your belly. And then we're grabbing our wrist, peace. You know, for me, doing things like whack, 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 or ha, 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 that like really works for me. My favourite is, if I do that, I just crack up laughing. You know, and you'll know, you start to realise how seriously we take ourselves when we're just like offended by doing stuff like that.
Yes, and I need to let you know that in the beginning of this work with Ilka, when she used to do that, consider who I've told you I was in the past, and I remember saying to her, what are you doing? My problems are serious.
Yes, and look, they are, you know, I did them for 20 years and I felt like they were very serious when I first started doing this, and you know, and we do see them as very real for ourselves, and especially when you're sitting in the car, they feel real. But even to notice how real you can make something when that person isn't even there, and this happened 12 hours ago, and replaying it is actually not going to change anything. Now, if someone had said that to me back then, I would have wanted to punch them. You know, I totally get how don't tell me I can change this. I can't change this. I felt powerless. But the beautiful part about Fast EFT is they weren't telling me that I could change the other person. They were telling me I could change the other person I carry around inside my head. And then suddenly it started to make sense. This is a movie that I'm doing to myself, right? This isn't, they're not talking about the actual real person. And if you're watching this video and you're new to this stuff, this is what we're talking about here. We're talking about what are you doing to yourself inside your own head that is wearing out your internal organs, that is going to only end in more suffering for you eventually down the track. That's the only place this can end if you continue to replay movies that make you miserable.
Because everyone inside your head is you.
Yes.
You're doing it
Yes.
to you now.
That is the other big understanding of Faster of Tea, and that it's a powerful, profound, foundational wisdom that we come from in Faster of Tea, and it is so incredibly freeing. So just notice again, Jo, what's going on there for you in that, and you start to think, is it changing? Is it changing? You can even start asking yourself that question. Is it starting to change?
Yeah, so I'm feeling less emotion around it. I can go back to the pictures and I don't feel the tears coming up again.
Yeah, beautiful. That's amazing. Okay, so we can even change pictures inside of our mind. So especially if there were certain actions that you can really get some emotion out of, you want to go to those actions in the movie that you were playing, and see if you can change it to something fun instead. Like, see, if you I've changed things. Maybe for example, if you had an argument outside, if kids are having an argument outside, like say you've got a memory of your brother and sister where you had a fight and you were using sticks, you could change them to, you could change it to having a sword fight or something like that. That's how you could, where it's fun, where you're actually having a fun time.
So what are you telling me to do here? If I had a heated discussion with my partner, like, and this is something that
he had a discussion with you and you went quiet. Is that how it works?
Damn it, pretty much.
He's saying things to you and you're just...
Yeah, stonewalling.
Yeah, okay.
So you're telling me I can change those pictures.
Yeah.
This is a big one.
Yeah, this is a big one for most people. But understand that just by Jo shifting the emotion out of that memory, you've just changed the memory. So people go, Ilka, you can't change it. But we just did. We just did. Now she's not actually feeling the emotion of it. And now the only reason that you would carry that movie around anymore would be for self-abuse. That's what you're doing. How can I abuse myself some more? So,
yeah.
And as we keep saying, look, we did this for so long. So I totally get that, it can be like a really... There's no use to it. Really.
I did have a lot of those I do for self-abuse, like from the moment I woke up in the morning, to confirm my low self-worth, but no one you spoke to would have believed that because I was genius at putting on a confident face. But I had tons of memories from the moment I woke up in the morning. That's probably another reason why sleep was great for me, because that was the only time there was peace.
Yes. So if we changed how this movie plays, what do you think we could change it? Like if you'd want it, what would you have wanted really? Change it to what you want.
That I could speak about what was going on for me, and that we could have a discussion at a normal vocal level, calm. And we could both speak up for our own needs and come to a win-win situation.
So we can get really creative with this. So that might be, in the beginning, it often helps people to bring in a calm person. Like bring in somebody, even somebody you know now, like further down in your life, or it can be someone from YouTube. It can be an author that you really admire. It can be anyone that you think would that help, Jo, if you brought somebody in that was really calm?
Yeah, that's what I've done in the past. But now what I can do is draw on like my higher self, who I don't. My higher self is not out there. My higher self is in here.
Yes.
In here. So so that's what really helps me now. But in the past it would be to bring in. There's a calm auntie I had, and I could. Bring her into the memory.
So this is the kind of thing, and this is another thing that I forgot. Even adults have imagination. Like, we have so much imagination, we've just forgotten how to use it. And you can redesign your brain. It's like, yay, interior decorating. Like, you know, so we start being able to play fun movies inside there, and doing interior decorating as we're driving along, or, you know, and as you get better at this, guys, you can start, and it took me, this is why I say, I never say Fast 3T was a magic pill, but as I used it every single day over years and years and years, my brain started to get back that flexibility of childhood, you know, where I can bring stuff in, I can change stuff around really fast now. I can, you know, even if something bothers me and I get quite triggered, which probably only my husband can do that some days still, I can, you know, I'm tapping straight away. But like, this was a process in the beginning, and I also did need help, like Jo in the beginning, to kind of unravel and get myself out of this. I was so stuck in that habit of psychoanalyzing, and that habit of going over and over things.
And
so,
yeah. for me, how like silence was my superpower and stonewalling. And I've recognised, as I've done the work and changed loads of memories where I could speak up, I've actually recognised that the most painful thing for me around being silent, not having a voice, not speaking up, not being courageous enough to voice my opinion is actually one of my, I'm flipping it, and it's becoming one of my superpowers to speak. I'm recognising that the very thing that felt like it was the biggest pain in my life has become my greatest teacher and my greatest opportunity to help other people who have gone through similar things to me and struggled with having a voice.
Yes, which is so cool. Yeah, and we call that, your coping skill often becomes your superpower. Very, very, especially as you move through all of this stuff. Yeah. And we see all the beautiful ladies on our calls doing the same thing. Oh my God, that's like such a joy to watch that. So watch that process happening. It's like the flowers opening. It's just so beautiful. So you know, they start doing yoga courses. They start beautiful online groups. They start speaking about their amazing hobbies that they have, like doing healthy eating, and they start sharing things on Facebook. We have podcasters. We have people who are teaching the world how to breastfeed more gently, and just all these amazing women that are doing such amazing work in the world. So and all through this simple process. Okay.
Always at hand. Literally.
Always at hand. So we've really showed you there's like a simple thing that you can do, like this tapping process that you can do, but it starts with you deciding to do it, and you deciding. And if you get inspired by what we've said about how you're responding to your children, like if that can be your driver, if you're in this group, then I'm sure that this is a driver for you. Every time you snap at your children, every time you don't respond in the way that you want, remember that you are starting to do this for yourself, so that becomes less and less and less. And again, that took me years to be able to, and still some days I respond to my children, in ways I don't want. I'm still learning this. This skill is massive. Like, our whole society is doing the other thing. So again, you'll become like the black sheep too. It can be a lonely path, they say, walking to the top of the mountain. But the personal power and the things that happen because you start this path, and the way that your relationships will improve with your children is, all the ladies, if you're watching this video and you are in our group calls, then please, put some messages down there as how it is changing, because they all tell me this. Like, there are things that they are now not doing that they know they used to do before. So it just changes and changes and changes and gets better and better. Yeah. So So thank you. Jo's ready to, go off and face the day. How much better would you feel if you'd just done that?
Oh yeah, that's it. And that's what these women are doing. They're turning up with their challenges, often feeling pretty darn ordinary at the beginning of calls and moving through the emotion, making the links to the past, moving through the emotion, changing perceptions of memories, and feeling awesome by the end of a 90-minute to 2-hour call.
Yes, definitely sometimes a bit longer. But yes, we do amazing work on the calls, and you can start though yourself today, you know, by just making this thing to start putting it back and what's going on inside of me. Yes, and then tapping what's going on inside of me, tapping, focusing somewhere else, this process. And if you have any questions about it, there's also another tapping video, #tapping. You will find that video, you know, and it's a much shorter version, and it's really just very, you know, how to do the process. So that's a good one too.
That you can follow on with.
Yeah. All right.
Big concept.
It's
big
very,
concept.
It is. And it took us years to really, you know, what Jo's been able to do there now in a few minutes. You know, that was a lot of in the beginning towards it even. But she still did it. So even as you're doing it, you might be frustrated with it. Am I doing this right? Am I not doing this right? It's still better than wearing out your organs. Still better.
This tapping shit doesn't work.
Yeah, even do that.
Tapping shit doesn't work. I had to do that because I wasn't going to let anything help me, was I?
No,
nothing can help me.
Stuff help you.
No person, no technique, nothing can help me.
Yeah. Let it go. Let it go. All these wonderful beliefs we have.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're excited about today because this is the work. This is it. It's very simple in so many ways.
Yeah.
But you got to do it.
You got to do it. Yeah. Got to implement. Yeah. Cool.
So thank you for joining us, and we'll be starting another course in July. Is it?
July.
Yeah. So send us a PM if you're interested. Thank you, Preston, for being here with us.
And
Mum and Andrew.
Invite people into this group if you know parents who this would really help. And if you'd like to share the video, this also goes onto our Facebook business page, our Instagram page, and our YouTube channel. So you can share from any of those. Yeah. You can't share from this private group.
Yes. Yeah. Beautiful.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Have a great week, and we'll see you again next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.